What is up, guys? Farmer Llama here, coming at you with a brand new series here on Goldcrest Valley. So, the way this series is going to work is I've got this little small farmyard to start off, and it's going to be sort of like a survival challenge, I guess, where I've got a little bit of starting money. I've got 89,000. The only reason it's such an odd number is I started with 100 grand, bought my little plot of land and built up this small little farmland. So that's the reason for that odd little starting number there. Now, the easiest way for me to make money at first is obviously going to be through contracts. Now, unfortunately, there's not really many around at the moment. We've got one small harvesting contract and one small spraying contract, which isn't exactly the best of starts. So I'm going to have to find a different way to make myself some money. Now, I think a good way to start might be with some animals. If I get something like I could get this little sheep barn down, I guess. Or I could just go with a big sheep pasture. That might work a bit better. How big is that? Not too big. I can't put it on the other side because I don't own that land. But it would fit in quite nicely in this little gap here. Tip point just at the front. The trouble is it does unload from the front. If why can't I just hold the button? That's annoying. No, it's not going to fit that way. Okay, this could be an issue because I don't want to put it so that it's too close to that. So if I put it somewhere like that, toggle free mode on. How much is that? That's 26 grand. I'd have to buy some bales to get that. Maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe that is not the best idea. So let's start with a tractor first of all. That I feel like that's a sensible starting point. Now I did have one in mind already. Little Fiat DT. I can get that up to 185 horsepower, so it'll pull some good machinery. I feel like that's probably going to be the best bet for me. I've got that one there, will go up to 145, but it's a bit more expensive. 133, but again, the price. There is that Valmet. I don't really want to be using that one because that's the same one that I use, I believe. Or maybe it's that one that I use, but it's the same kind that I use on Western Wilds, and I don't really want to be overusing the same tractor. So I think my best bet is going to be this. Where's it gone? It's Fiat DT. No, that's low horsepower. So that's the one that I want. We'll get the engine set up for 185 horsepower, and I'm not going to worry about anything else. We'll just get that purchased. So, and naturally, a place to start would be contract, but there's not really anything about. So maybe, do you have any small fields ready to harvest that I could like flip? Field 17 over there. Costs 34 grand. What is planted in it though? Is that oats? It is oats, so I could flip that field. If I could get... How much does that cost? Here's going to be the issue. Let's just stop that for a sec. That's 34,000, which will leave me with just under 30k, so a little bit too much. There's not really any cheaper ones though, is there? No, that is the cheapest field, is field 49. guess that's really my only option. Oh, sorry. Didn't realise you were there. Let's get this tractor back first of all. Maybe I shouldn't have bought this. Maybe a better bet would have been just to buy a harvester. Because then I could have flipped this field, bought it, harvested it, sold it back, because land doesn't lose value. So I would have basically got the crop for free. It's annoying that that's not coming up on a harvesting contract, is it? It's not. But if I take that harvesting contract, I might just about get enough to get the harvester and see, making this first bit of money is going to be the real issue. But once I've started getting some, and I can get together a bit of equipment, it will become a bit easier. So I think maybe my best bet in that case will be buy the combine harvester, do that contract on field 33, get the money from that, because I'll also get that little bit of money from the extra crop that doesn't count towards a contract. You get to sell a little bit of it. I've immediately crashed into my shed. That's a great start. It is canola as well, which has a fairly high price. Now, do we have anything here? No, we've got a baler. Just a little square baler. Kinsey planter, which I can't run. Zeta tractor, which has less horsepower than mine for more money, and a sugarcane trailer. There's nothing really good there. So I think what I'll do is I do have some cheap harvesters installed. The cheapest one being this. So if I get this bought up, we'll see how much money we're left with. I also want the header. It's going to cost 5,200. Get that all attached up. I might actually just be able to afford that field. Let's see. Oh, having a save already. Wait for that to load. Do have autosave turned on. My PS4 does sometimes have a habit of crashing, so I don't really want to lose anything. I am £100 short. Oh, excuse me. Right, so field 33 is canola, so I could take that canola contract. The cogs are turning now. I'm trying to figure this out. But if I take that canola contract, get that harvested. I'm just going to accept that now because I've got the harvester. Now the hope is, I know this harvester has a fairly sizable tank. Not amazing, but it's got a few thousand litres in it. So if I can get this whole field into this tank in one, which I think is very hopeful, then I won't have to buy a trailer. I can use the money from the contract and this extra little bit. And where? Oh, I've got to take it farther, haven't I? I've got to go all the way up there. Okay, it's not a million miles away, but it would be a slow process. Why am I going so slow? That's better. Okay, so let's get to harvesting. Let's just jump straight into harvesting this. And we'll see how quickly it fills up. I know canola is a slow, it's a low yield kind of crop, so I'm not too worried about it filling massively quickly. But we just got to see what happens. So yeah, we'll keep going with this. I'll get this this all time lapsed, and I'll see you guys once it's all harvested. So I'm just going to bring you guys back now. We've got our first full combine load. I think I was being very hopeful, wishing that it would all go in one load. We, in fact, got nowhere near that. Looking at that, and what's left, what I've done, maybe 3 or 4 loads in total. Now, luckily, we don't have to go too far. So I can just, rather than cart it over there, I'll just take it in the harvester. Now, it will take quite a while. Not because it's a long journey, but, you know, 12 miles an hour isn't exactly fast. But this is our best option if we want to be able to buy that field. Just to give it a quick flip. So that's what I'm thinking so far. I think that's going to be our best bet to make a bit of money. Actually quite a sizable bit of money early on. And what we could potentially do is, I believe it was oats that was growing in this field over here. We are going to head past it on the way. So what we could do is, once we sell the field back, buy ourselves a cheap little grain mill to put on our land. Get the oat turning into flour. Just to maximise the money we're getting out of it. There's canola sale here. I mean, that is the other option. Rather than buying that field and flipping it, is we can build ourselves a grain mill, and the little bit of canola we have left we can put in the mill instead. It would not make us as much money, but in the long run maybe that's a better option. I don't know. I mean, that's the field there. That's what we're looking at. Although I'm not enjoying this whole taking the harvester over, so maybe I do just buy myself a trailer. Maybe get some bees going on the farm with what money we have left to get some honey. We'll have a look. When we get to the top over here, we'll have a look and see what we can afford trader-wise. I think we could get something fairly large, as long as it can hold about, I don't know, 8,000 litres. It'll do 2 and a bit harvester loads, so that would help us on these harvesting contracts. It would also just make it a whole load quicker. So maybe that is something that I should look into, rather than trying to straight away get myself that piece of land. Just building up equipment instead. That might be the more sensible thing to do, because this, right now, doing it this way kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie, this, yeah. Can I even, oh, it is going to pour, good, good. We'll see how much this transports. 30% complete on the contract. 33% transported. So 3 full harvester loads would do the contract. Now what I would do, actually, and I will just check that now, is have a look at, they're right at the top here, trailers. Now we can just get the base game stuff, but that's all a bit more expensive, so we'll just jump straight down to the end here, come from the back. So that's the same as a base game one, so I'm not too worried about that. Now that can be upgraded. 7,500 for 9,900 litres. That's actually a fairly good price. I don't even think I'm going to look at the other ones. I think I'm going to go straight for that. 9,906 litres. Does it cost to change the colour? If I say get it in a green instead, it does not cost. So I think I've got the actual axle's black. Some black rims as well, and then the design. Do we go a nice yellow? No, we can go orange. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, whilst we're on our way back to the field, I think I'll talk you through some of the rules and plans and stuff for this series. So we're playing on the farm manager mode, which sets the difficulty at normal. Now I don't have any plans to change that yet, but if things are a bit too hard we can lower it. If it's a bit too easy, put it back up. I think that's a nice starting point, is the normal difficulty. Now in terms of rules, I'm not allowing myself to lease equipment. So if I want to do contracts, I have to own the equipment to do the contract. And it just means I'm going to have to think about what I'm buying a bit more. And it just puts a bit more of a challenge into it. I also can't hire workers on contracts. If I'm doing a contract on somebody else's field, I have to do that work myself. But when I own my own farmland, I can hire workers to do that a little bit. So that wouldn't be an issue. I think that's about it in terms of rules. Other than that, it's just basically just going to be playing like a normal farm sim save, trying to build up as much farmland as I can to make as much money as I can. And that's kind of it. In terms of plans, I do want to try to own farmland as soon as possible. And there is a fairly cheap, that just wasn't going straight up this road, I have to look quick. Oh, it wants to save though, that kind of... Oh, one thing I do have to do actually is just sell back this whole big area that I need to do that in a minute. Oh no, I can go straight. So I need to sell back farmland 1, sell that for nothing. So I just own this little plot here. Now, there is plot 22, which only costs 52,000, just over the road from me. Which might be a starting point. There is also plot 19, which is significantly more, at 140. But I think 22 might be our starting point. We can maybe get some crops planted in there, or go for some grass to make some silage and get a bit of money quick. Though I might save the silage for the bigger field when I got that. Now, what am I stuck on? Tiny little tree. Let's just get off there. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait, buddy. Just trying to maneuver this over here. Perfect. There we go. Get back over to the field and then we'll bring our trailer over, ready to start harvesting again. Once this contract's done, I can see if there's anything else available. But early days in this series, it might be a lot of skipping days to get the right kind of contracts. I don't want to be buying a bunch of equipment and spending loads of money just to lose most of it. If I look at contracts now, I think the only other one that's available is a spraying contract. Now I can buy a cheap sprayer and I might do that. What is it? It wants herbicide. So I could get that done anyway. I will have to own a sprayer at some point, so that I can fertilise as well. Sprayer is a multi-use thing, so maybe that wouldn't be the worst idea doing that one. So I might go ahead with that. We'll have to look at the price of herbicide though. I believe the sprayer I'll be looking at only holds 1,000 litres, so one pallet would fill that. So that might be worth a look in. Get this set on cruise control. So what I think I would do is I'll put you all back into a time lapse. We'll get this field harvested. We'll fill the harvester up, bring the trailer over and carry on that way. But yeah, so I'll get this set into a time lapse and I'll bring you guys back once it's all done and we're just transporting the last bit over. I'll see you very soon. going to bring you guys back now instead of waiting for the whole thing, just to give you a little bit of a channel update. If you watched either of my first two parts on Western Wilds, you will know that I've been talking about doing just a normal farming simulator series on the new farming mode. So I start with the equipment and the farmland already. Now I have finally decided, after checking out a few maps, what map that I want to be doing that on, and I'm actually going to get to recording the first part of that series after I've recorded and edited this one. So after this, the next video on the channel will be the first part of that series. Now we'll be doing that on Somerset Farms. I had a quick look around that map, and it's a lovely looking map, and I think I could do quite a bit with that one. You start with some good equipment and some good farmland, and I think that's a good map to start that on. So I'll be recording that one next. Oh, is this going to be... oh, just. So that will be the next series that is going to be started on this channel. So I'll have those three going at the same time. Now some series won't be as long as the other one, so I might not be on Somerset Farms for too long. It might be 10, maybe 20 episodes, just getting built up, getting some equipment, getting some farmland going. So I might not be on that for too long, but we'll just kind of see where it goes. I feel like the Western Wilds will probably be one of my longest series of the three. This Goldcrest series could go for a little while as well, but I don't want to be doing, because I have no set streaming, not streaming, sorry, but upload schedule. I don't want to be making them last too long, otherwise it's going to be months before you guys get any kind of new series after these ones. So yeah, I don't want to be really letting them go on for too long, so we'll just have to see what happens, and we'll work out from there where it goes to. So as I say, I'm going to be recording that one almost as soon as I've finished editing this one, really. Getting 2 videos uploaded in the same day, hopefully, if I can get it done quick enough. And then after this, hopefully we'll get some more uploads next week, but we're just going to have to see where things go. I'll get things done as and when I can, and we'll just see what happens, see where the channel goes from there. I mean, currently the first 2 videos, they're not doing amazing, but I expected that. It's the first uploads on the channel. It's not going to take off immediately. I've just got to give it a bit of time. So whilst I'm just waiting for things to start going better, all I can do is just record more videos that are out there. Hopefully the more likely they are to get watched. But that's kind of it for the update. I mean, other than that, it's just going to be business as usual for me. So I'll get to that once this is done. For now, rather than putting you back into a time lapse, I'm just going to get this field finished up and take a cut, and then bring you guys back once I am at the sell point, and we can see how much money we make off the extra little bit, and hopefully we can try and plan a little bit ahead from there. So I'll cut the video now, and I will bring you guys back once this is all done. There we are. So the whole field is harvested now, so I'll just get the last of this little bit tipped into the trailer. There we are, that's done up. Now I can get this all transported over. Now luckily it's not as far to go, well, it doesn't feel as far anyway when I'm in the tractor, because it goes almost twice as fast. Still not the quickest tractor in the world, but it does the job. So I'll get this all transported over there. Hopefully make a little bit of money just from the extra little bit that I can sell as well, and plus the money from the contract itself. I think we can make a few grand here. So I hope I'm not gonna hold anyone up. No, I'm all good. It's only over to that building over there that we've got to go to, so it's not far at all. then I think we'll head back to the farm and just see what else we can get built on that little farm. I think having some bees might help us just to make a little bit of extra money on the side. That way we don't have to rely solely on contracts to make every single penny. We can actually start building up our own little income. The more money we can make, the more land we can buy. So I think bees is definitely a good place to start. Either bees or chickens. We'll have a look when we get back and we'll just kind of compare prices and see what option would be better for us. But for now, we are here. Keep forgetting how bad the brakes on this are. We'll get this sorted. That actually tips pretty quick, which is good. So that's done. We've got an extra 1,150. It's not game breaking, but it'll help. Plus the couple of grand from the contract itself should bring us back over 30,000, which means we might be able to afford to get both chickens and bees, but then we won't be able to afford any equipment, so we'll have to think about that one when we get back. But we'll just head straight back to the farm. We're going off the road a little bit there. We'll have a look on the back. Now, it looks like the bottom of that's dented. I'm guessing it's meant to be like that because it's kind of patterned, but weird little texture. Maybe it's because I painted it? Well, I don't know. I do like this trailer though. I think for the price, it's definitely worth it. Holds a fair bit for how much we paid, so that's always good when you don't have much money. It's a very pretty map this. So I think if you didn't play one of the old farming simulators, I think this was one of like the base maps in the old games. It's just been modded to bring onto Farming Sim 22. Now I didn't actually play any of the old ones. 22 is the first one that I have played, so I don't actually know what any of the maps were like back then, or any of the equipment or anything like that. All I know is 22. But this is a very nice map. Just put back up on the farm. Park this to the side for now and then get straight into the construction. So here we'll do. Oh, over here. I keep forgetting that this has the worst brakes possible. Right, construction. Now I think to start, I definitely do want to place one of these. So is this just a cheaper version of the... I mean, this looks like it holds quite a bit. So if I plop this down... I don't know, maybe just... I mean, that overlaps, but I can place it down there. That's looking quite nice. And then I can get one of these bigger pallet zones in as well. Just maybe there for those pallets to spawn. And that leaves me with 23,000. So if I go over to the chickens, I do have this installed. Now, I think this would be a good start. I'll get this place down. I think right there. And then we'll just do a bit of landscaping with the gravel. Just to give myself a little path to actually... Oh, that tree is in the way there. So So I think if I come from the other direction, if I come from here, I can come off of this path, head up here, and then I probably just want to do the same from the other way, just to thicken it up a little bit, just up here. So we've got a nice wide path that I can park my trailer on to get stuff loaded and tipped. That's looking quite good. Now I just need to get it filled with chicken. So how much is it going to cost just to completely fill it? I was on the right one, wasn't I? Yeah, animal dealer. So if I just get 500 chickens, you can only buy them 60 at a time. I think I can afford to fill this. Yeah, 9,900 left. And that's 500 chickens in here, which means it's going to take a lot of food. Which I will fill up in between episodes, and I'll also skip ahead to the next day to hopefully get some more contracts rolling in, plus some pallets of stuff that I could possibly sell. But for now, that's going to be it for episode 1 here on Goldcrest Valley. Hopefully you'll see from this series again fairly soon. Hopefully it won't be too long. But it's a good start. We got some ways of making money on the farm already, which will hopefully build up, and then we can purchase our first plot of land. But for now, that will be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.